Hi there. No, that just a quick yarn. That whole life by design thing. This isn't a podcast. This is just a quick yarn to answer a few of the questions. A lot of you fellas will just be watching this, and you've already got all the tools that you need to carry on and enjoy life and whatnot. I didn't realise that a big issue amongst young people was fear of the future, and I guess you're absolutely right. We all have a certain fear of that future. There's a few ways that people deal with it. You can just trust the universe and believe that everything's going to fall in place and that everything happens for a reason. And if you believe that, that's kind of a good way to deal with it. If you believe that, then no matter what happens, you don't stress, because this is all happening for a reason. And there's a grand plan in place for me, but I personally don't believe that. And if you believe that, that's all cool. I think action causes reaction. It's like hunting, right? You can, I'm going to start hunting. I'm just going to trust the universe. I'm just going to walk around my backyard and trust the universe is going to place a deer in front of me that I can shoot. That's not the case. You've got to go out and find out where the deer hang out, and then you've got to learn how to hunt, and you've got to learn how to be quiet and stealthy, and you've got to buy a gun that shoots straight, learn how to shoot straight, and then you've got to go out the right time of day, and then the deer have got to be there for you to shoot them. Maybe the universe will control that to some certain extent, but yeah, shit happens. I don't think stuff happens for a reason. It might do. I still haven't actually put my finger on that. But I think if we do adopt that approach, it's kind of a good approach to adopt, because then when shit happens, you can say, this has happened for a reason. What's the reason? But that's my approach anyway. If something happens, I'm like, right, okay, this has happened. I'm going to learn and grow from this, take a lesson from it. And if it's a good thing that's happened, oh yeah, that's awesome. Remember that time we went out and shot that deer? That was a good day. And I'm grateful for that experience and that memory. So anyway, fear of the future. If you're scared of the future, then write it down. I am currently developing, this has been an ongoing process, father-son team building. It's not my number one business, so I'm not putting 110% into it, but I've been dabbling here and there and slowly getting my ducks lined up until I can start knocking them off. Bear with me, father-son team building trips, corporate team building. So one of the activities that we've done several times, this is great, it's a metaphor or an analogy, is we split everyone up into two groups. And I might have told you guys this before. This is fantastic actually. We split everyone up into two groups. This is out in the wilderness when we're camping, out in the bush, and we say, right, this is an exercise that is a good metaphor for life, for relationships, for business, for how you feel, where you want to be, what you want to do. And once we're splitting up the two groups, we say, right, this is the goal. Self-sourcing pudding, self-sourcing chocolate pudding, cooked in a camp oven, on a campfire. Now, for those of you who have ever made self-sourcing chocolate pudding, it's freaking difficult, you know. When you're in the kitchen at home with all the ingredients and the right tools and a recipe and detailed instructions, it's quite hard to do in your kitchen, let alone camping over a campfire. Baking is a hard thing to master. I'm just going to swap arms there because that arm's going a bit sore. I've got a headache today. Side effect from breaking my back, that's why I look terrible. I'm not going to let it get me down though, and I'm walking, small price to pay. So anyway, we split them up to two groups, and one group gets all of the tools and they get a detailed recipe and detailed instructions, and the other, and all the ingredients, and the other team, they get the ingredients and the pot, and that's it. And we say, right, go forth and make us a self-sourcing chocolate pudding. And the people with the ingredients in the pot go, where do we even start? Okay, we've got to get a fire going. So then they get a fire going. And the other group that's got everything they need to succeed, because it's all there written out for them, they've just got to follow the instructions that are written down and use the tools. They smash it out of the ballpark every time. Every time's a winner, baby. It's sometimes a little bit burnt around the edges and sometimes a little bit raw in the middle, but every single time there is a delicious self-sourcing chocolate pudding with chocolate sauce around it, and it is so freaking delicious. and they step back and go, wow, I can't believe we just did that. And the other group, they cock it up every single time, so it comes out so hard and charcoaly you can't even get a bloody screwdriver in there, or it's a raw mess, an edible mess. No one's ever nailed it in the group that doesn't have the recipe and the detailed instructions. We ask them, we say, look, are there any bakers here or anyone that knows how to bake on a fire? And if there is, we say, you guys come join the judging panel, because it takes away from what we're trying to do. So anyway, after the exercise, sitting around, we say, well, it's as simple as that. The future is as simple as that. You write down your goal, and then you figure out all the ingredients to make that goal happen, and then you give yourself a timeline. How long is that going to take? And then you write lists, and that's your recipe, right? And your instructions, and you write lists to make. Sometimes you have to write the lists out, then you have to make lists to make the lists happen, and lists to make the lists to make, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. And then you've just got to get the recipe right. So there'll be a lot of failure. You're not going to smash it out of the ballpark every time, because you're still coming up with the recipe, right? I'm just going to clean that lens. Oh, that's better. Hi, I can see clearly now. So that's it. That's the solution. Write it down, and then make lists, give yourself a time frame, and you've got to get into the habit of crossing those lists off. And so anyway, we tell these folks this is a really good metaphor for life. A lot of people say happy wife, happy life. I think it's the other way around. Happy life, happy wife. So if you can be happy in your home and your environment and in your head, that's going to spill off into your relationships and into your workplace, and productivity is going to go through the roof. So there's a bunch of other things we do as well to increase productivity and increase people's mental well-being and all the rest of it. So in answer to your question, I can't remember your name, sorry, someone asked me fear of the future and how do you manage that. You just write the recipe down, and you know the result is going to be a certain way, and you write down how you want to feel, where you want to be, who you want to be with, all of this different stuff, and just keep refining that recipe as you go. And you'll find that you'll tap into this magical thread of the universe. Hard to explain, I know, but there's a magic out there. Metamorphosis, look at metamorphosis. That shit didn't evolve, that was created. There's a magic out there that we can't explain. Creation, scientists keep trying to make reasoning of it, but there's a missing link. There's always a missing link in something, that we can't quite figure out. And it's that magic that exists. And magic is out there. It's hard to explain. Christians have tapped into it. People who believe in the law of attraction, they tap into it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, once you write those goals out and reverse engineer it, start crossing off lists, this stuff happens that's coincidental. Or is it? It's hard to explain until it happens to you. Then you go, man, that can't have just been a coincidence. And there is a bit of a scientific reasoning behind that. The reticular activating system is a part of our brain that filters out sensory information. I've talked about this before. A lot of people just switch off. They go, oh my god, here he goes into this airy fairy shit. But it actually works, and it's scientifically proven to assist us when we focus on something positively or negatively. Our reticular activating system, which is a sensory information filter, picks up on associated information and allows that into our brain. So once you start writing stuff down, you've cleared your brain. It's like meditation, right? To allow new thoughts to come in, you've got to empty your brain. Walk out into space. Stop thinking about shit. Stop stressing about stuff. That's one of my biggest challenges, is trying to come up with creative content. Time and time again. Something different, something fresh, something new. It's freaking challenging because I got so much on the go because I write lists down. But when you write something down, it clears your brain and it allows you to add to that list. It's like a shopping list, right? Try go shopping without a big shopping list. A lot of you men will probably do this already. You'll just go down to the supermarket and throw this in there and throw that in there, and then you'll get home and like, oh, but damn it, I forgot this, and oh, I forgot that, and I bloody forgot something else, and your bloody significant other will go, oh, I told you to get this, and I knew I should have written it down. Yeah, you should have written it down, because then I would have remembered it, and I would have added to that list. And that's when you write stuff down that your brain figures out. What I'm trying to say here, that's why when you write stuff down, your brain figures out new things to add to that list and new ways to solve problems, because it doesn't have all that jumbled mess in there. You've cleared it out, you've written it down, and created that space for new ideas and creation to come into it. We are creators. We create stuff. So there you go, that answers your question. Fear of the future. If you write down exactly what the future's like, design your life by design, map it out, and then follow the instructions, follow the route on the map. You won't always get to where you're going, but more often than not you'll surpass where you want to be. Or you'll get halfway there and realize, actually I don't really want that anymore, I want something else, I want something different. Or something different will come to you and you'll be like, man, this is way better than what I originally wanted. Or shit will happen and you won't quite get there, but you've given it a damn good crack and you're miles further down the road than where you were before. But you have to remember, shit happens. Sometimes shit just happens and you've got to deal with it, and you've got to learn and grow, and it's out of your control. Don't stress about it, it's happened. Try to move on. You know, it's like when your dog dies, or a relationship ends, or a loved one dies, or you have an accident, you become incapacitated. Shit happens. Now the trick is to develop tools to deal with that shit. Grief, heartbreak, failure, it's a process, right? That we all have to deal with it. And you can take the attitude, oh, woe is me, nothing ever goes right, and that's just cementing in your subconscious that you're a bit of a fuck up and that you can't nail anything down, and you'll just keep fucking up. But if you tell yourself, right, this has happened, it's out of my control, what I can control is how I react, the lessons I learn from this and the takeout I get from this. So yes, live and learn. Live and learn, get those tools. If you don't have those tools, do some research, get those tools to deal with the shit, like a big shovel, right? And then keep those tools sharp. Don't let them get rusty. You can visualize your reaction. It's hard, right? It's hard to control our reaction when shit hits the fan in a relationship, or when something goes wrong or somebody dies. But we'll all have these subconscious habits that lead us down a certain path when shit happens, when shit hits the fan. And if you can hone those subconscious habits when shit does hit the fan, then you'll be able to deal with it in an appropriate manner. But it's hard to do because shit doesn't always hit the fan, so we don't often get to use those tools. You know, you pull the shovel out, it's like, I've actually forgotten how to use this shovel. This is not the shovel I'm used to using, it's different. It's not your regular shovel. How do I use this damn thing? And if you can visualize shit hitting the fan in different scenarios and how you're going to react and how you're going to deal with it, be careful though, visualization, because if you visualize it, it just might happen. But if you can think over shit that's happened in the past and visualize your reaction, what happened, how you dealt with it, and how you could deal with it differently, then visualize a different way of dealing with it. Okay, I dealt with that wrong, this is the correct way of dealing with it. Like kind of like a debrief, I guess. It's an incident report, and incident reports work. Those of you who have to fill out Take 5 or incident reports will know over a period of time they prevent accidents. And oh, this incident's happened again, or it's happened again. Okay, why does this incident keep happening? What can I do to change it, to prevent it becoming an accident? Or the accident happened, let's deconstruct it and figure out what we can do differently to stop happening again. Does that make sense? I don't know quite how my brain got to there, but it did, went from there and then it's ended up there. So I'm just going to end it there. Any questions, whack them below and I'll do another quick video to try and explain to people who may not know stuff how, well, my knowledge anyway. And I'm still learning a lot. Holy shit, I'm still learning a lot. So any advice anyone's got out there, throw that in too. Let's talk about it in the comments, because man, I want to know. I'm still learning. There's a lot of shit I don't know, and if you don't know, you don't know, and awareness is half the battle won. So sharing is caring. Throw your 10 cents in there and help me out, help the other brothers and sisters out. Have a good day.